the phone with us, we have Heiko Schmidt, who is the Vice President of Network Strategy for Mercedes-Benz High-Powered Charging. And Heiko, we're talking to you today about the new charging station that has opened up in Calhoun at the Buc-ee's on Union Grove Road. Of course, Buc-ee's a very well-known location around here, and you guys are have opened up a charging station. Can you just tell me a little bit about it?
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, David. So let me start talking maybe a little bit about Mercedes-Benz high-powered charging in general to give you an understanding of what we do, right? And then I'm happy to speak specifically to the new site that we opened in Calhoun that we're very excited about. Mercedes-Benz high-powered charging is a new entity within the Mercedes-Benz family. We're dedicated to rolling out a public charging network, not just to Mercedes-Benz drivers, but to all EV drivers. And what we're really looking to do is to change the quality and the customer experience for drivers of electric vehicles when they do have to charge in public. So we're elevating the level of quality and overall the experience, realizing that charging is such an essential part of owning an electric car. Mercedes really wants to own that part of the customer experience. So at the end of the day, we would like to take the inconvenience out of EV charging, and we're partnering with popular retailers just like Buc-ee's to meet drivers where they are, and at the end of the day, where they are going, right? And that makes it easy for consumers to enjoy the 20, 25, 30 minutes or so that they have to charge a car. Now, specific to Buc-ee's, we have partnered with Buc-ee's to offer a very reliable EV charging experience. We are located with them across major travel routes across the Southeast. That includes the Texas Triangle, includes I-95, and of course the very important I-75 corridor. We truly believe that that's a great relationship with Buc-ee's. They are focused on the consumer experience, just like we are, right? They're adding amenities like freshly prepared food, beverages, the souvenirs you can buy, the friendly service they offer, and of course their famous pristine rest facilities. So it's a great match for us. The site in Calhoun is the first location we're building with our new hardware, so a new generation of chargers. They're all what we call 400 kilowatt chargers, so are the fastest in the industry, enabling the consumer to charge their car up very quickly and be on their way again.
All right, great. And you mentioned that these chargers will fit not just Mercedes electric vehicles, but tell me how that works. Are there adapters that are there that can allow charging of different types of electric vehicles? Essentially, there are 3 different kinds of charge plugs, if you will, right? Different kind of ports. So we talk about CHAdeMO. CHAdeMO is really aging a little bit, if you will. That's some of the older generation of primarily Japanese vehicles. So we'll leave those out for a second. But we have the CCS1 standard, and that's essentially the plug that every electric vehicle in the U.S. outside of Tesla uses to charge in public, right? So vehicles are equipped with it, chargers are equipped with it, and that ensures that there's compatibility. Customers who are driving electric vehicles, again, outside of Tesla, do not have to use any form of adapter, right? They can all charge at our site or any other charging site, and just plug in, authenticate, that's how we call it, when the consumer actually says, hey, this is who I am, this is who my vehicle is, submitting the form of payment, and then they're ready to go. For Tesla specifically, in an immediate step, Tesla drivers can use an adapter. Tesla drivers are typically used to that from other sites to connect to their NUX plug, right? So it's a slightly different plug. But we are rolling out over the course of the next months those so-called NUX cables as well, meaning all of our sites will be equipped with both the CCS1 standard as well as the NUX standard. Therefore, drivers of all vehicles can charge without having to use an adapter.
This charging station in Calhoun, it's equipped with 10 charging ports, is that correct?
That's correct. 10 charging ports, and I mentioned earlier, brand new generation of hardware with a company called Alpitronic. They're a European company, but they're assembling their hardware in the U.S. for us. We're really excited to working with them. They're providing benchmark charging speed as well as reliability of their chargers. You know, David, that's one of the things that we're really focusing on is uptime and making sure that when consumers arrive at the site, that the chargers are actually working. Mm-hmm. And Alpitronic has proven in Europe that they can do this. We obviously put a lot of effort into what we call operations and maintenance of our sites. Our uptime so far at our existing 14 sites is over 99.5%, which is benchmark in the industry. So this site will not be an exception, meaning customers can rely on approaching the site. When they do, they're receiving benchmark charging speed, depending on the charging speed that the vehicle can take, right? There's always two sides of what determines the actual charging speed and therefore the charging duration. One is the vehicle itself, and then obviously the charger. Our chargers are equipped to handle essentially the fastest charging speeds possible. If a vehicle can take that amount of speed, we're talking about charging times from typically what we would refer to 10 to 80% of the battery within 15, 20 minutes.
And, of course, being located there at Buc-ee's, while their vehicle is charging, they can go inside and look around and shop.
Well, we believe that Buc-ee's certainly is one of the best places to spend 15, 20, or 30 minutes. I do remember a road trip I took with my kids in Texas earlier this year, and my wife and I pulled out all the stops, all the different highlights of the trip, sightseeing, etc., and at the end of the week, we asked them what was your highlight, and the stop at Buc-ee's is what was mentioned first. But of course, the brisket sandwich, the choice of beef jerky, all of that helps to make it a memorable experience, and again to make this what we believe the best stop on a road trip, right? To freshen up and grab a snack, grab a drink, and charge your vehicle in the process. That's in the end what our network is all about, is reducing inconvenience time. If we can be at places where customers would want to go anyway and spend time, then we've reduced their inconvenience time because they're not just charging their car and waiting. They can actually use the time and add value to their day.
All right, and tell me a little bit about the future plans for the public charging stations. What can you tell me about what's coming up in the future?
For Buc-ee's specifically, we are building at essentially all of their travel centers, not just in the southeast, but then Buc-ee's will also be expanding westwards and a little bit north, and we're following them along. So overall, we will build at just about 55 or so of the Buc-ee's travel center locations, which we're really excited about. But we are partnering with other sitos as well. We have a great relationship to Simon Malls, so we're building Simon Malls across the nation. We have recently announced a relationship in collaboration with Starbucks, which we're extremely excited about. So we will start by building out some sites along the I-5 corridor in California, where we do see a lot of demand, but we will expand our footprint with Starbucks to a nationwide portfolio. So overall, we have communicated, and that's what we're working towards, that by the end of 2027, we will see round about 2,500 or so charge ports across the United States. So quite a significant network.
All right, great. And anything else you can think of to add?
I talked about how excited we are about our relationship with Buc-ee's and how much we're excited to really drive the industry forward here. When we look at consumer data and when we talk to our customers, and this is something we like to do on a regular basis, right, is to engage with our consumer base. And what we constantly hear is that the lack of public charging infrastructure continues to be one of the main purchase barriers for electric vehicles. Consumers are concerned, right, that if they do purchase an electric car, that they will not have the ability to charge, because either there's not enough public chargers out there, or they're utilized, they're taken up when they get there, or they're broken, they're not working. So we believe that we can make a significant impact here on removing one of these big concerns from consumers by building this network, and therefore really enabling the switch to a more sustainable form of transportation. So we're excited for that, and we look forward to continuing the build-out of our network and therefore impacting the customer experience over the next years.
Heiko Schmidt, we appreciate you joining us today and updating us on the not only the facility in Calhoun, but also charging stations that are going to be going up and have gone up around the state of Georgia. And we appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you so much, David.